Normally for 5 to 7 years is the project lifespan from inception to startup for the large refineries. And for these large refineries, they have their own purchasing cycle for all the equipments involved in the refineries. Normally it takes around close to 2 years for 1 to 2 years for procuring, planning and procuring the valves, pumps and other equipments involved in the refineries. The similar period of purchasing cycle with a lesser purchasing cycle is involved in the power plants. Example is the combined cycle power plant. The lifespan is from 3 to 4 years from the inception to startup to go for a commercial operation. And procurement cycle ranges from 6 months to 2 years. Similar way for smaller captive power plants, it ranges from 1 to 2 years for inception to startup and from 3 months to 8 months on the procurement. But for all these equipments, for all these big industries, that is a purchasing cycle. For all these industries where the valves go into as installation, these valves are with the spare parts. These procurement is normally for valves and pumps, all other equipment starts from 24 hours to 3 months, maybe 6 months. So this is a normal industry standard of inception to startup and procurement cycle for the spares or the equipments together. So aftermarket, any valve which goes into implementation, installation and commercial operation, the life cycle of the normal valve or the plant goes for 40 to 50 years. If it is properly maintained with services, proactive services, preventive services, upgrading the technologies and managing the assets. All the equipments installed are the assets, and with the proper diagnostic tools, the life cycle increases. I'm taking an example of a power plant here where the spares requirement stages can be identified easily. When the power plant gets into a project or gets into execution, all the equipments will be ordered to the vendors, and the vendors will take the order, design and manufacturing, shipment and send it to the plant or a project where they all will go into a storage or a warehouse. And they will be having all the equipments in a different schedules, then go for erection and commissioning, installation. At the time of commissioning is the first stage of spare parts requirement. That is where the important spares, the critical spares are to be in place of inventory, so that any emergency, any damage during the commissioning, any damage during the cleaning of the pipelines, any damage because of the slurry inside the lines, that may cause a huge cost of money to the project execution team. Once they manage this particular commissioning stage, then they go for a commercial operation or a startup operation. Then they go for a commercial operation. Then they will hand it over to the end user. And once this end user also takes care of the plant, they need the spares in inventory to manage any emergencies or planned outages. So some of the stages commissioning phase where the internals may go wrong while disassembling and assembling of the valves, cleaning the pipeline, some of the slurry, some of the foreign particles which can damage critical parts of the valves. That can lead to a longer lead time for procurement of the spares, longer lead time of servicing, and longer lead time for starting the commercial operation. Some of the pictures what we can see here that shows there are so many foreign particles involved that may damage the internals of valves, pumps, or any other equipments in the line. The key objective for a maintenance manager, maintenance engineer, or a maintenance team in the plant is to reduce the mean time for repair, mean time for restore, and respond and resolve it. So this reduced MTT is a main objective for the maintenance engineer, where they have to focus mainly on the safety of the personnel who is working there and safety of the equipment and the plant, and make sure the plant is available for the highest efficiency there with all the equipments are in order. They have to have the maintenance program, whether it is a visual inspection or it is a complete overhaul, which is found by a planned outages or emergency outages. Normally the organizations or a plant, they always consider why the spare parts so expensive. But if you see the cost of ownership of the equipments are this is a study done on the cost of ownership. Engineering cost is normally for 9% to 10%. Valve prices will be 5 to 12%, and the majority of the portion of the cost of ownership is involved in maintenance cost. The maintenance cost involves the installation, providing a compressed air or electricity to operate, a removal, repair, or a refurbishment or a reinstallation. And there are so many disposals, managing the manpower, everything together. But actually the cost of ownership for the spare parts is just 5%. So this 5% has to be managed with the right parts with the right quantity in the right time and the right place. So no need to buy all the spares. No need to buy for spares for all the valves at the same time. There should be a proper planned procurement with the right quantity, with the right vendor, with the right parts. That will reduce the cost of the spare parts to the organization. So some of the, I'm just taking an example of the valve, which valves are where the spare parts are classified. These are the spares which are packing rings or a gasket. Normally we call it as a soft parts or a soft goods. And sometimes they come as individual parts. Sometimes they come as a soft good kit, so that whenever we assemble and disassemble, we need to replace them. There is another class of items which are called as functional, and these functional spares are some stud nuts or guide bushing, locking plates, washers. These are all functional spares. And the very important one is a insurance spares. We call it as a insurance spares, important spares, critical spares, emergency spares. All these spares are to be kept in inventory at all time to support any emergency need. This forms the recommendation of spare parts by any valve manufacturer. The list of recommendation of spares for any such valve we try to give here with the normal industrial valves, gate globe check valves with trunnion mounted ball valves or butterfly valves. We try to put it in a, we provide them as a repair kit. So repair kit, for some valves include only the soft goods, or for some valves they include the internal parts also. Including the stem, ball, seat ring, disc, wedge or a gate in terms of gate valve. So these are the repair kits as a spares recommendation. This is one of the example of a trunnion mounted ball valve where the number of spare parts are in the bill of material is number of spare parts are more, and we normally classify them with the different notification on what are the soft goods, what are the insurance spares or a critical spares, and what are some functional spares or an operational spares which may be required for a commercial during the commercial operation. So, in trunnion mounted ball valves, normally these seat ring, O-ring, and packing and thrust bearings, body seals, these are very important whenever we open the valve and close it, assemble and disassemble, we need to change these spares since these spares lose their physical properties whenever once it is opened. Another important aspect of maintaining the spare parts with a different classification in the inventory is to have proper drawings or documents in place with the bill of materials identified for different types of the valves, and also having identification of spares. What is what, whether it is a critical spare, whether it is a functional spare or a soft good. We, as a valve manufacturer, we always recommend customer to keep the critical spares in inventory to arrest any emergency requirement, which may take a longer lead time for procurement or manufacturing and supply. Some spare parts are having their own shelf life, which need to be properly maintained as a storage and handled it carefully with the information given in the operating and maintenance manual, which will provide the higher lifetime for these shelf life items. There is a concept called preventive maintenance. This is to prevent any emergencies before they occur. We need to plan it properly. So that is called as an acting instead of reacting. Once the failure happens, we start reacting to it. So if we do a proper preventive maintenance for the equipments, we can act rather than react to it. So the reaction will cost us big money than the preventive maintenance or an acting on it. So we need to keep our equipment, whether it's a valve or a pump, we need to keep it clean. We need to have our own calendar of equipments with the preventive maintenance schedules. So that we on a proper schedule, we do a visual inspection, we do a physical inspection, we do a complete overall of the valves or equipments, which will allow us to have a zero tolerance policy on the leakages. By having this preventive maintenance, that also calls for keeping some of the spares in stock for the requirement of replacement. This is to do the safety of the equipment, safety of the plant, and also to reduce the ownership on the cost of spares or cost of equipment which is involved. We have another concept called predictive maintenance. Predictive maintenance is normally used for critical equipments, especially the control valves, where commonly the malfunction may happen because of involvement of many different equipments, and that may lead to a bigger damages for the other equipments. So we can do this predictive maintenance maybe in situ situations, and also to having proper spare parts in place for replacing them with as per our planned schedules. So one of the important thing for having a spare parts and technical personnel from the OEM, original equipment manufacturer, is to get the proper technical knowledge of the equipment, and do the replacement or the servicing or a replenishment or repairs of the valves or equipments by using the OEM people or OEM spares, that will increase the productivity of the product, and also the warranty is not void. Once we start using the third-party equipments, third-party products, or third-party spares and technician, there is a higher chances of losing the warranty, and also the work done by them with the knowledge or without the knowledge, complete knowledge of it, may result in a bigger loss to the organization. Some of the valves normally in the industry now, in industrial valves, which are the must-have soft goods in stock for a different valves, like a gate globe check valves or trunnion mounted ball valves, especially on the triple offset butterfly valves, and also on some floating ball valves. We as a manufacturer, we as a OEM, we recommend these spares to be in stock, to be in inventory, which will allow you to do a refurbishment or do an emergency shutdown or do an emergency replacement of spares whenever it is required. Because these are the spares which once used and taken out cannot retain back their physical properties, and these even if we force them, there are chances of leakages, whether through the body bonnet joint or a gland packing joint. There are higher chances of leakages. To arrest this, we need to have the new spares from on the shelf to replace at any time. So today's takeaway, where in terms of using the OEM spares, using the OEM specified technicians, and start doing the preventive maintenance and predictive maintenance instead of handling the emergency breakdowns that may cost a huge money to the plants, and keep insurance spares or critical spares in stock, and replace soft goods whenever we disassemble the valve and are trying to do the assembly of the valves. So current we all are going through a current disruptions in terms of health, financial, demand and supply. There is a proper planning need to be done on these OEM spares, which we can reduce some of the disruptions in the current scenarios.